Welcome back to our Intimate Partner Violence video series. Today's topic is red flags. Check out the website for the accompanying resources. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or triggered by any of the information shared today, please take a break, press pause, do some self-care, reach out for some support either at our office from a friend or family member, or if it is outside of office hours and it is emergent crisis, you can always contact Mobile Crisis. Okay, let's jump in and talk about red flags. So there's many different red flags that can signal possible danger in relationships. There are lists upon lists upon lists that you can access on the internet, and all sorts of behaviors that could be a red flag to violence in a relationship. Really what we want to talk about today and what are some of the most important red flags are not so much about what the other person in the relationship is doing, but how you're reacting and how you are feeling to what's going on in the relationship. Throughout this video, I will be mentioning again and again checking in with yourself and listening to your intuition. Author Gavin de Becker, who wrote the book The Gift of Fear, he talks about in his book that one of the most powerful messages that there might be danger, one of the biggest red flags, is that you have intuitive feelings that there is danger. And so we really believe that your intuition will tell you if it is a red flag or not. So one red flag is you might be feeling uncomfortable or overwhelmed. This can happen for many reasons. Some common ones are that your partner is being too nice, and especially if you've said that it's making you uncomfortable how nice they are, and they're not changing or respecting that boundary, or if the relationship is moving very quickly. Sometimes it can feel like you don't have a moment to catch your breath and figure out what's going on when things move really fast. Or some things that they've said or done maybe aren't really fitting together and it's not sitting very well for you. You might be getting this feeling, usually people describe it as being in their gut, a feeling just that something's not quite right, and that's your intuition starting to tell you something, starting to say, hey, let's pay attention. You might feel that your new partner is starting to display unhealthy behaviors. Maybe they're checking in too often, or they're reacting to your friends and it's not feeling very good. Maybe they have a tendency to blame but not take on much responsibility, or some of the ways that they're reacting in general make you nervous. If you're noticing behaviors that are making you go, oh, that doesn't feel healthy to me, or that kind of feels uncomfortable, it's good to check in with yourself, figure out if you need to set some boundaries, or if some of these behaviors are deal breakers for you. Maybe you notice that your self-esteem is negatively impacted. When you've been around your partner, are you noticing that you're starting to question yourself more? Are you leaving interactions feeling worthless, stupid, or incapable, especially if self-esteem has not been an issue for you in the past and suddenly now it is, or if it's gotten much worse since this partner has entered your life? That's a good indication that there's a red flag here. In relationships that are healthy, you end up feeling better about yourself and more supported. If the opposite of that is happening, this is a good chance for you to stop and check in. Is this what I want? Is this okay? What's going on here? Isolation is a red flag. If you've stopped seeing your friends or family, or you've withdrawn from your social groups or activities, these are pretty big indicators that it's getting unhealthy. Even if your partner doesn't ask you to stop seeing other people in your life. If you start getting so wrapped up in the relationship that the other relationships in your life are taking a back seat or they're going away altogether, that is a red flag, because we need the support of other people outside of that relationship to help keep us balanced. And sometimes it can start really slow, that you stop hanging out with people as much, and then suddenly the only person you're seeing is your partner. Again, you want to be checking in with yourself. Is this okay with me? Do I have balance in my life? Do I have support in my life? Those are important to maintain healthy mental health and a healthy relationship. Are your work or studies starting to become a struggle? When something doesn't fit or feel right in an intimate partnership, it can be hard to focus on anything else. If you're noticing that you're underperforming at work or at school, if you're hyper focused on your partner, so constantly thinking about what are they doing, what are they feeling, what can I do better, what went wrong, and replaying things, this could be a sign that something needs to shift in your life. When your life starts to be interrupted by pieces of your relationship, something needs to be worked on. And your boundaries are crossed. If you find your boundaries aren't respected, take notice. Communicating that your boundaries are being crossed and affirming those boundaries is important to any relationship. All people have boundaries. We all have the right to share those boundaries and to expect that they will be respected. Once the other person knows your boundary and you've told them, you've shared this with them, how they react to that boundary, it gives you information whether or not they respect your boundary or they consistently cross your boundary. Tells you a lot about whether or not this is going to be a red flag. Do they respect you? Is this a healthy relationship? So that is just an overview of some of the ways that you might be feeling and some red flags. Red flags, they are there so that we can notice, so that we can bring them up, so we can talk about them and really check in with ourselves. Some red flags are deal breakers. Some red flags are things to kind of put in a pile, check on later, and if it becomes a pattern, then that's another story. If you want some more information on this topic or any of the other topics in our video series, or if you're needing more support, please contact us at our office. The number is 306-244-0127. And hopefully this helps you to check in with yourself and your intuition and look for some of those red flags. Take care.